refractometer has got to be my favorite home brewing tool. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it speeds up the entire brewing process. Not only that, I'll prove to the professionals out there that I can use a refractometer to get my final gravity. When you finally get a refractometer, you'll see that it has either Brix or specific gravity, SG. Brix as a measurement is equal to 1 gram of sucrose in 100 grams of solution, so your water. Some refractometers will come with SG, so the specific gravity on them. Mine comes with that. You can literally see the same symbol on a hydrometer. Hydrometer is the floaty stick thing. Firstly, we need to set the refractometer up. You take that little cover off there, you'll see that it now can be adjusted. I mean, if you're a vet and you're measuring like animal pee-pee, then I would probably use demineralized water. If you're homebrewing, I'd calibrate the refractometer after you've added the minerals to your water. My reasoning is that when you add minerals to the water, it's going to affect that refraction just a little bit. If you start exactly on 1, then you'll know exactly how much sugar has ended up in your wort.
Get yourself some water, tap or distilled, add it to your refractometer, and then just adjust until you hit the 1. That being said, there are solutions that are less than 1.
So if you have something that weighs less than water, like oil, and you add it to the refractometer, it's going to be less than 1. Something else that weighs less than water is alcohol, which is going to affect the final gravity. The simplest way I can explain a refractometer is imagine this ball is light, and imagine this wall is your solution. You'll notice that the light has gone through the solution. Let's take the same light and imagine that the solution is now filled with lots and lots of sugar. It bounced back, hence refraction. Something I think is fantastic about the refractometer, you can take a sample during the boil. That is boiling hot. It'll take 2 seconds to cool down. The reason you don't want it to be hot is when water's warm, it's less dense. So colder water is more dense, therefore it'll act like there's more sugar. Warm water is less dense, so it'll act like there's less sugar. You want it down to about 20 degrees. You can do this really, really rapidly compared to if you're using a hydrometer. If you're using a hydrometer, look how much beer you're kind of wasting. I mean, you can sterilize it and pour it back into the vat, but that's just going to introduce more oxygen. You've mashed and you've boiled, you're ready to pitch your yeast, but now is the time that you can check the original gravity. Take your small sample and cool it down. And you check it. You now have your OG, and now comes the most difficult part. Having the patience to wait for your beer to ferment. Take your fermented sample, add it to your refractometer. At this point, your specific gravity doesn't matter. What you want is your Brix, and you're gonna get a final gravity, which is off. Offness, which we can fix with a bit of math. But with a refractometer, you have enough information to calculate and get an exact specific gravity. What I do is I take my data, put it into a refractometer calculator, and it will do those maths for you to figure out pretty close to what your specific gravity is, or what your alcohol by volume is going to be.
If we take the same sample with a hydrometer, you can see your final gravity is 1.02. We'll put it into the ABV calculator and you can see it's quite close. If not, almost exactly the same.
That's a refractometer. It's my favorite tool by far, but there is one that comes in quite close as a second. Click here and I'll tell you about another tool that you need as a home brewer.